Grandpa, my parents are planning to steal your money tonight after the party, whispered my 8-year-old granddaughter. Her words piercing through my heart and shattering every belief I held about family loyalty. I quietly left the celebration early, concealing my devastation behind a composed smile. But what I did next, a meticulously crafted plan for revenge, would astonish everyone. I transformed their betrayal into an unforgettable lesson, ensuring they would never forget how I outsmarted them at their own game. Before we continue, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready, because this is one of the most jaw-dropping, satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. My name is Norman Price, and for most of my life, I believed in the power of family. I built my construction business from the ground up, worked hard, and provided for my wife, Ellen, and our only son, Harry. When Ellen passed away 3 years ago, my world shrank to just Harry, his wife Mary, and my precious granddaughter Alexa. They became my anchor, my reason to keep going. Harry was always a gentle soul, a little too trusting, a little too eager to please. Mary, on the other hand, was sharp, ambitious, and sometimes a bit too focused on appearances. Still, I tried to see the best in her, especially for Alexa's sake. I wanted to believe that, despite our differences, we were a real family, one that stuck together through thick and thin. Alexa was the light of my life. Every weekend, she'd come over to my house, and we'd build Lego castles, bake cookies, or go fishing at the lake. She'd draw pictures of our adventures, always signing them, "Best day ever, Grandpa." Those moments made the loneliness bearable. I'd helped Harry and Mary more times than I could count, paying off their mortgage, covering car repairs, even footing the bill for Alexa's private school. Ellen always said, "Family helps family," and I took that to heart. But lately, I'd noticed a change. Mary started dropping hints about assisted living, suggesting my house was too much for one person. Harry seemed nervous, always glancing at Mary before answering my questions. I chalked it up to stress, but a part of me wondered if something deeper was brewing. The day of Alexa's 8th birthday, I arrived early, arms full of gifts. The house was decorated more lavishly than ever, with balloons, streamers, and even a magician for the kids. Mary greeted me with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes, and Harry hovered nearby, overly attentive. The party was in full swing, but beneath the laughter, I sensed an undercurrent of tension. As the afternoon wore on, Mary and Harry kept steering me away from certain conversations, always changing the subject when money or the future came up. I tried to ignore it, focusing on Alexa's joy as she opened her presents. But when she pulled me aside, her voice trembling, I knew my instincts had been right all along. "Grandpa, my parents are coming to steal your money tonight." Alexa's words hit me like a punch to the gut. I knelt, trying to keep my voice steady. "What do you mean, sweetheart?" She glanced over her shoulder, making sure no one was listening. "I heard Mommy and Daddy talking last night. They said you have too much money for an old man, and they're going to fix it tonight. Mommy said the papers from the bank will make everything legal." My heart pounded in my chest. I'd always trusted Harry, even when he made mistakes. But Mary, I'd seen the way she looked at my house, my car, the life Ellen and I had built. Still, I never imagined they'd plot to take everything from me, especially not with Alexa caught in the middle. I hugged Alexa tightly, whispering, "Thank you for telling me. You did the right thing." She nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. "Will you still love me if Mommy and Daddy get mad?" My throat tightened. Nothing could ever change how much I love you. Returning to the party, I watched Harry and Mary with new eyes. Every gesture, every forced smile, every sidelong glance, they were all part of a performance. I realized how much I'd ignored over the years. The escalating requests for money, the subtle manipulation, the way Mary always positioned herself as the family's savior, while quietly undermining my independence. As the party wound down, Harry pulled me aside. "Dad, can you stay after everyone leaves? We have some important family matters to discuss," Mary chimed in, her voice syrupy sweet. "It's about your future, Norman. We just want what's best for you." I forced a smile, playing the part of the tired, aging grandfather. "Of course. I'll stay." Inside, I was seething. The betrayal cut deeper than I could have imagined. Not only were they planning to steal my money, but they were also willing to traumatize their own daughter to do it. That evening, after the guests left, Harry and Mary sat me down in the living room. Mary produced a stack of legal documents, power of attorney forms, guardianship papers, and a new will. "We've been thinking about your health, Norman," she began. "It's time to make things easier for everyone." Harry looked away, unable to meet my eyes. "Dad, you've done so much for us. Let us take care of you now." I stared at the papers, my hands trembling not from age, but from rage. They'd planned everything, right down to the signatures. But little did they know, I wasn't going to stay broken for long. That night, I barely slept. I sat in my study, surrounded by decades of memories, photos of Ellen, Alexa's drawings, the deeds and documents that represented a lifetime of hard work. The betrayal gnawed at me, but beneath the pain, a new resolve began to form. I wasn't just fighting for my money. I was fighting for my dignity, my independence, and the future of the only grandchild I had left. I reviewed every document Harry and Mary had given me. The power of attorney would give them control over my finances, medical decisions, and even my living arrangements. The guardianship papers were even worse if I signed. They could have me declared incompetent and shipped off to an assisted living facility, all while draining my accounts. I thought about Ellen's last words to me. "Promise me you'll always take care of Alexa, but watch Harry carefully. Weak people make dangerous choices when someone strong is whispering in their ear." I realized now that Mary had been whispering for years, and Harry had chosen greed over loyalty. I needed a plan, a way to protect myself and ensure Alexa's future. I called my old friend James Miller, vice president at the local bank. "James, I need your help. My family is trying to take control of my assets. Can you come by tomorrow morning?" He agreed without hesitation. Next, I called Catherine Davis, the notary who'd handled my business contracts for decades. "Catherine, I need you at my house at 10 a.m. tomorrow. It's a sensitive family matter." She promised discretion. Finally, I called Harry. "Son, I've been thinking about what you and Mary said. Maybe you're right. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. Let's meet tomorrow morning and get everything sorted." His relief was palpable. "Thank you, Dad. You're making the right choice." I spent the rest of the night preparing, gathering financial records, documenting every payment I'd made to Harry and Mary, and drafting a new will that placed everything in a trust for Alexa. I wasn't just going to defend myself. I was going to turn the tables. As dawn broke, I looked at Ellen's photo and whispered, "I'm ready." And that's when I discovered the perfect way to ruin them. The next morning, the house was quiet, but charged with anticipation. Catherine arrived first, setting up her notary materials in my study. James followed, carrying his banker's portfolio and a knowing look. "You sure you want to go through with this, Norman?" he asked quietly. "Absolutely," I replied. "It's time for some justice served." At exactly 10:05, Harry and Mary arrived, their faces a mix of excitement and nervousness. Mary carried her leather document case, ready to finalize their takeover. "Dad, you look much better today," Harry said, trying to sound casual. "More like your old self." I smiled, masking my true feelings. "I had a good night's rest. Let's get started." Mary laid out the power of attorney forms, highlighting the signature lines. "This will make everything easier, Norman. You won't have to worry about a thing." Harry nodded. "We'll take care of everything, Dad. You can trust us." I feigned confusion, asking Catherine to explain each document. She read them aloud, her professional tone making the legalese sound even more ominous. James watched silently, taking notes. When it came time to sign, I paused. "Before I do this, I want to make sure everything is in order." "James, could you review these documents?" Mary's smile faltered, but she nodded. "Of course, whatever makes you comfortable." James examined the papers, then looked up. "Norman, these documents would give Harry and Mary complete control over your finances and medical decisions." "Are you sure this is what you want?" I looked at Harry, then Mary. "Is this really about helping me, or is it about helping yourselves?" The room went silent. Mary's mask slipped, her eyes narrowing. "We're just trying to do what's best for the family." I stood, my voice steady. "No, you're trying to steal everything I've worked for. But you forgot one thing. I'm not as helpless as you think." I pulled out my own stack of documents, bank statements, payment records, and a new will. "Catherine, I'd like you to notarize these instead." "James, you'll witness." Mary's face turned pale. "What are you doing?" she demanded. "I'm protecting my legacy and Alexa's future. From now on, everything goes into a trust for her. If you want to be part of this family, you'll have to earn it." The tension in the room was electric. Harry looked lost, and Mary was furious. But when the day finally came, everything changed. The signatures were made, the notary seal pressed, and the new will was official. I watched as Mary's confidence crumbled, her carefully laid plans unraveling before her eyes. Harry sat in stunned silence, realizing the gravity of what they'd tried to do. James, ever the professional, gathered the documents and assured me they'd be filed with the bank and my attorney immediately. Mary tried one last time. "Norman, you can't do this. We're your family." I met her gaze, unflinching. Family doesn't plot to steal from each other. Family don't traumatize their own child for money. You've shown me exactly who you are. Harry's voice was barely a whisper. Dad, I'm sorry. I never wanted it to go this far. I nodded, feeling a mix of sadness and relief. You let someone else's greed poison your heart, son, but you still have a chance to change. I turned to Alexa, who had been waiting anxiously in the hallway. Come here, sweetheart. She ran into my arms, and I knelt to her level. Everything's going to be okay. I've made sure your future is safe, no matter what happens. In the weeks that followed, the fallout was swift. Harry and Mary were forced to confront the consequences of their actions. The financial support ended, and they had to find real jobs for the first time in years. The community learned of their betrayal, and the shame was a punishment all its own. Alexa flourished. With the trust in place, she had access to the best education, opportunities, and a future free from her parents' toxic influence. I spent more time with her than ever, teaching her the values Ellen and I held dear: honesty, kindness, and the importance of standing up for what's right. As for me, I found peace in knowing I'd protected my legacy and honored Ellen's memory. The roses in her garden bloomed brighter that spring, a symbol of hope and renewal. Looking back, I realized that revenge stories aren't just about payback. They're about justice, healing, and ensuring that karma finds its mark. The satisfaction of seeing justice served, of watching a toxic relationship unravel, was nothing compared to the joy of seeing Alexa thrive. Tell me, do you think this revenge was fair, or did they deserve even worse? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you love emotional storytelling, pro-revenge, and satisfying stories of family drama and justice served, make sure to subscribe for more. Because in the end, the best revenge is living well and never letting anyone steal your happiness.